Good morning. Thank you everyone for coming this morning on this beautiful day. I'm Kathy Wright, Education Director for the Kyle Cannell Foundation. I want to tell you a little bit about our story and how we got here. On May 5th, 2002, my nephew Kyle asked his mother Joni if he and a friend that was spending the night could take a walk around the block. And of course she said yes. It was May, it was a beautiful evening, and the guys were looking forward to school being out for the summer. Unfortunately, Kyle never made it home from that walk. A young driver, 17 years old, fell asleep at the wheel and came up on the sidewalk where Kyle was walking, ending his short life. As you can imagine, it was such a tragedy for our family. It took a long time before we could even breathe again. And then we started talking about drowsy driving. We had actually never even heard those words back in 2002. We had heard about people falling asleep at the wheel. We had actually done it ourselves, not fallen asleep at the wheel, but we'd been sleepy driving. And now we're hearing about people being killed by drivers that fell asleep at the wheel. And we thought it was just a few. And then we started digging into it and found that there were thousands and hundreds of thousands. And so 8 years ago, we decided to take our message to high schools, driver's education programs across the state of Tennessee. Thankfully, State Farm came to our aid and pushed us to go farther than we even wanted to do, and the Tennessee Highway Safety Office got behind our program also. Without their help, I'm pretty sure we would not be doing anything today. But in November, Governor Lee proclaimed November as Drowsy Driving Awareness Month, and we have several activities planned. If you're on the interstate this week, you'll see our Don't Drive Drowsy message on the interstate message boards. We have the dedication of the signs today in Germantown, and we're also running a Don't Drive Drowsy message on YouTube and Xbox that all the young kids should see. So our message to teens, because teens are our focus, Kyle was 17, the driver that killed Kyle was 17, and teens commit up to 70% of the 1.2 million drowsy driving crashes. It's not very comforting to know that there are 84 million fatigued drivers on the road every day. So our message to teens is you need more sleep. These are the warning signs, and don't risk it. There is never a reason to risk it. We are very thankful for the mayor of Germantown, Mayor Palazzola, Cameron Ross with Community Development in Germantown. Without their help, these signs would never be in place. And we think they serve as a warning to drivers as they drive down the streets of Germantown, and hope for the future that people will pay attention to their sleep, know the warning signs. If your head starts bobbing and you're feeling fatigued, don't risk it. Pull off to a safe location and get some sleep. You don't have to get there today. There is never a reason to risk it. My beautiful nephew Kyle would be here today, and the 1.2 million crashes would not happen. Not one of them needed to happen. 8,000 lives are lost every year due to drowsy driving, and they're all preventable. All you need to do is get a good night's sleep. Thank you for the team of the Kyle Cannell Foundation. We have an amazing team that supports us in everything we do, and we could not do this without them. Thank you. I'd like to introduce David Ross from State Farm, one of our biggest supporters.
Good morning, everyone. I would just like to tell you how much we appreciate being a representative of State Farm. State Farm recognizes the importance of this foundation in educating all drivers. I know the foundation members, they go to the high schools and they educate the general public on how important it is to make sure that you do not drive drowsy. And just to emphasize the fact that 8,000 drivers die typically in a year, according to the National Department of Safety. There's so many lives that are destroyed because of those that do drive when they're drowsy. So as a representative of State Farm, I would like to thank those members of the foundation for all the work that they do to help educating the public on this significant issue. Thank you.
Thank you, David. And this is Carla Litford from the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
Good morning. My name is Carla Litford. I'm the West Tennessee Law Enforcement Liaison with the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. Today we are pleased to join the City of Germantown and the Cal W. Connell Memorial Foundation for this important event. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration estimates that in 2017, 91,000 police-reported crashes involved drowsy drivers nationwide. These crashes led to an estimated 50,000 people injured and nearly 800 deaths. Getting adequate sleep on a daily basis is the only true way to protect yourself against the risk of driving drowsy. Avoid drinking any alcohol before driving. Consumption of alcohol interacts with sleepiness to increase drowsiness and impairment. Always check your prescriptions, over-the-counter medications, the labels to see if drowsiness could be a side effect. Avoid driving during the peak hours, like from midnight to 6 a.m. These are just a few tips to avoid driving drowsy. For more safety driving drowsy tips, visit our website, www.tntrafficsafety.org. Thank you.
Thank you, Carla. And now I would like to introduce Mayor Palazzolo, Mayor of Germantown.
Thank you, Kathy, and welcome to all those in attendance. We certainly do appreciate the partnership with State Farm, the Foundation, Tennessee Safety Office, our local police department as well. You're in a city that highly values public safety, and in Germantown, close to a little over 20 years ago, we began a program called Alive at 25 in our two local high schools. We're very proud of this program because it teaches driving safety to our youth, and hopefully that impact will lead to safety throughout the community. We're also very proud this morning. We wish we could be outside today. It is raining, but we have the first sign in our city that will be dedicated is close to the corner of Germantown Road and Farmington. Roughly 75,000 cars a day pass that spot, so we know it'll be good exposure. We've also identified other locations around town. I'm very thankful of our police department, and I could not say thank you enough to Kathy and her perseverance, her patience, her dedication, her dogged will to make this happen here in Germantown, throughout the region as well. Safety starts in the local community, and it starts at home. You can't rely on our public safety professionals for everything, and so I think the message today is very well delivered to the community. Let's make sure our youth get that message, and let's make sure we have a safe community and safe roads, and Germantown is proud to be part of that leadership today. Thank you. And do you want to, since we have actually the sign out front with a veil over it, I think symbolically today, can we all hold the sign? Would that be appropriate?
That'd be fabulous.
And then
Yes.
all the partners here, would that be fine?
We'd love to.
And come together and maybe we can raise it?
Okay.
Okay. Okay. And, oh, did we have
Governor's
further?
proclamation.
Okay, go right ahead. Sorry. My apologies.
Can you read it? What are we doing with it? Do you want me to read it? So this is from Governor Lee's office. Whereas there are an estimated 1.2 million crashes each year with drowsy driving as a contributing cause, and whereas an estimated 83.6 million people take to the wheel while sleep deprived every day, and whereas 1 in 3 drivers admit to driving fatigued, 1 in 3, and whereas drowsy driving crashes cost the country over $109 billion, and whereas drowsy driving is responsible twice as many deaths as distracted driving, and whereas drowsy driving is entirely preventable with 8 to 10 hours of uninterrupted sleep, and whereas a month focused on drowsy driving prevention activities will increase awareness of this deadly practice. Signed, Governor Lee. Thank you. I appreciate your time. Thank you all for coming today. It means a lot to our family.